Welcome, everybody. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Bryan.
And this is Bryan versus Bryan, episode 39. We're doing Three Ninjas from 1992. Play that beautiful trailer.
They were three brothers learning the ways of the ninja, but what started as a game suddenly turned real. Those kids.
We should run. We should hide. We should kick their butt.
Now, three heroic kids are taking on one ruthless criminal.
Yes!
And they're determined to have the last laugh.
Enjoy the ride.
Three Ninjas.
Wow, look at that. That trailer was really well done. And I posted it on the Facebook. That was the main trailer. I was surprised at it. Like the music tones, how it was like, it's like really high energy, and it had a lot of those cuts. Like, I was like, dude, this is the actual trailer, not a fan made one. It's like I didn't expect it to be that good. Like I thought the trailer was really cool.
Yeah, speaking of the trailer, I was grabbing stuff for the edit before we started recording. And I went on YouTube and I just put in Three Ninjas trailer, and I just clicked on the first one. And it was a fan made trailer. It was like Three Ninjas action movie trailer, and it made it like the very serious tone of like the kidnappers. And I was like, oh shit, I can't play this in the edit. This is not the right tone at all. I thought it was pretty funny. You should check it out.
Yeah, I tried to edit one where I added like the Chinese Connection theme song, and I was gonna dub over the voices myself. The Chinese Connections theme song where it's like, oh, I was gonna try and make it like a super Bruce Lee type of ninja movie, but it just wasn't working out. I was having trouble with the words and the mouths and the sounds. So
Gotcha.
I was like, fuck it, this take too much time. But yeah, 1992, Three Ninjas. Big time for ninja movies. So we start with these retrospectives. I like to talk about our history with the movie, just to give us backstory if we have any personal feelings about it before we got into it. Of course, like most people in our generation, I loved this movie growing up. I definitely had it on VHS and wore that tape out. Like Three Ninjas was a staple. Who didn't want to be freaking Colt? I don't know why. Like everyone liked Colt, at least that I knew. It's like you don't want to be the old kid. He's kind of nerdy, goody two shoes. You don't want to be the stupid fat kid, Tum Tum. So Colt's who you are, man. But yeah, that's my history. I loved this movie. Still love it.
Yeah, I'm the same. I love this movie growing up. Watched a shit ton of it. And I still remember the VHS cover where it's like all three of them in a kicking motion.
Yeah, and it's like orange.
Or orange, that's what it was. And I remember watching the second one. And also there's another movie that was around this time called Surf Ninjas that I also really loved. Rob Schneider. Another fucking bona fide.
Yeah, and like Kino from like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I don't remember ever seeing that one and not really liking it because they were adults. But I need to watch that one. People like it. Maybe I'll freaking love it. We'll see.
Yeah. And I don't know. I was always a Colt person too. So I guess you're right. Everyone you know. It's a Colt.
Everyone likes Colt, man.
But it's true because like Rocky is all his thing is him and the girl. And then Tum Tum is just him eating. Colt just seemed like more of the badass.
Yeah.
Good.
It's the hothead.
Yeah. So I was right there with you. I watched the shit out of this when I was a kid. I think I was like 6 when this came out, so it was right around that perfect time to be watching this kind of movie.
Perfect time to beat your friend's ass with sticks and just say you're playing Ninja Turtles or Three Ninjas or something.
Yeah,
right? That's how you could tell what people were playing in the schoolyard. If there's 3 of them, they're playing Three Ninjas and they're beating each other's asses. If there's 4 of them and they got sticks in their hands, they're playing Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. This one time I was playing dodgeball or something with my friend, and I like grabbed his throat and ripped his spine out, and the guy was like, hey, he's playing Mortal Kombat, that guy.
Whoa, pal. My mom doesn't let me play those games. But there was no blood, so you could tell it was a Super Nintendo version. But so this is like a wacky mix up of Home Alone and Ninja Turtles, which were both big at the time. I think Three Ninjas was just like blatant try to capitalize on these things movie, but it did it really well and it was really fun. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you kind of got the house booby trap Home Alone stuff. You got the obviously the martial arts stuff, which being the Ninja Turtles being huge at the time, and was able to merge those together and be pretty damn successful. I think there's like 4 of these movies. It's like
Yeah.
Three Ninjas
Strike
Kick Back,
Yeah, or Kick
and then Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, and then like Three Ninjas something High Noon at Mega Mountain, where it's got like the Hulk.
Yeah.
The-
Hulk Hogan.
talking about America's sweetheart, the Hulkster in the movie. That's not only in the movie, it's in the movie.
I don't think I've seen that one. I think I've only seen the first 2.
Yeah, I need to watch that one. That one's, I'm sure, terrible.
Yeah.
They got worse as they went on. Even the second one's not that great. Oh, funny note about these. I'm pretty sure you have to Google it to get the nuances. The second one was filmed third, and the third
Weird.
one was filmed second.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
something happened
bizarre.
where it's like the sequels were reversed. I don't know. I remember how it happened or why it happened. And Colt being the fan favorite, I'm pretty sure he's the only one that stays the same through all the movies, or at least the core movies. I don't know about the fucking Hulk Hogan one, but yeah, he's the only one that's the same. They changed Rocky in the second one, so it's kind of weird. They're constantly changing kids, and I think by the Hulk Hogan one, they're all different. They all just moved on.
It's funny. I was looking at the IMDb trivia stuff. I was thinking it's kind of fun. And apparently, Colt's original name was intended to be Pony. Hey, yo, Pony.
Probably didn't test well with the kid audience.
Yeah.
I don't like Pony. Well, Tum Tum's original name was going to be Monster Killer.
Oh, yeah. God damn it.
Let's myrtleize him. But yeah, so they get trained by their grandfather, who's Japanese. It's like their mom's like half Japanese. So
No,
the grandfather's full.
They dropped the ball on that one.
She got black hair. Being an Asian that doesn't look Asian at all, I could see it. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she is, but yeah, it's pretty sure that lady's Caucasian, 100%.
Yeah.
And then, so they get trained by their Japanese grandfather, teaches them karate like during the summers. Their dad doesn't like it because he doesn't want them being violent and fighting. Dad's an FBI agent. It's like all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's an FBI agent trying to catch his weapons smuggler Snyder, who is a ninja and was taught by the grandfather character. That's all conveniently tight knit.
Mm-hmm.
All these characters and lives intertwining. And then so he's tired of Snyder is tired of the FBI agent always chasing after him. He's like, I gotta stop this bastard. I'm gonna kidnap his kids. And he knew his address, right? It's like, dude, he knew his address the whole fucking time. Why didn't you just go kill him or do something about it? It's like it's like you just had the address. They didn't show anything of you looking it up or tailing him or anything. They just had it.
You have a boat full of ninjas.
Yeah.
Take them out.
Yeah, dude. There's got to be a harbor close to his house. It's hard to find parking for a giant boat, though. And then, so he doesn't even go to kidnap the kids either. He sends 3 bumbling surfer criminals to go kidnap the kids. So the kids have to kind of set up the house and defend themselves to prove that karate is worth it, and that's why they were able to save themselves and defend themselves. And that's pretty much the plot. I mean,
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, and then it turns into Home Alone, and then it kind of goes back to Ninja Turtles at the end when they go fight on the boat, and with a little bit of Under Siege. It's like just a smattering of Under Siege in there.
Yeah, this movie was definitely missing Gary Busey. It's interesting you bring up the Home Alone stuff because I feel like, and I'm just speculating, but as I was watching the kidnapping sequence, which is a really long sequence, and the longer it went on, I was thinking, I bet you this story, the birth of this movie began with the idea of what would happen if you were to rob a house and they happen to be ninjas. And then obviously you take that idea and you expand and you create a story. because this movie takes up so much time. I'm like, this had to be the
Yeah.
original idea, right? This had to be.
Yeah, and their dad's an FBI agent.
And yeah,
You
yeah.
start
Then you start,
adding
yeah,
fucking
branching
ideas.
on. Exactly.
They're fucking. Oh, their grandpa taught the bad guy who hired the kidnappers. It's
Yeah.
like, keep adding layers, dude.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
But,
the
yeah,
kidnapping
that's-
sequence is great.
Yeah, the three surfer dudes. That's the best part of the movie. Once they start getting introduced, just everything they say is pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see where those guys are today. You know, those three dudes. Let's talk about some of the characters. The grandpa character, I thought was pretty funny at times and serviceable as a wise old sage character.
Yeah.
But I didn't like that every fight scene he's in is just so obviously not him. It's like he
Yeah.
can't do any of it, dude. He's too old. Like anything, like raising your arm, it's a stunt double and it's
Mhm.
way skinnier. And it's just, even as a kid, I knew that. It always took me. I was like, that ain't him.
Yeah. Even the kids, like in the beginning, you know it. By the way, as a side note, you know you're in for a great movie when there's a training montage within the first 5 minutes of your film. Fucking 2 thumbs up. But in that montage, like some of them are like doing handstands and all this shit. I'm like,
Oh,
it's
yeah, yeah.
clearly like a 20-year-old, and it's supposed to be like Rocky, and it's like, no,
Yeah, when they're
that's
doing
not
like
a
flips and
10-year-old
stuff.
kid.
But
Yeah.
but at the end of the movie, the fights, I didn't notice before, but I just noticed. I just got done watching it. They do all their own fights. Like you could tell it's never cutting away from the kids, and as long as they're not in a full ninja suit,
Right.
you know, like the end fight, it's them. I was like, all right, cool. And that's, you know, it's them with adults and them like adults swinging a sword and he's ducking, and
Yeah.
it's like typically you wouldn't have kids doing that. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they did a lot of their own stunts, and they it was pretty evident early on in the beginning when the Snyder's kind of attacking Grandpa's house and they have to defend themselves, and the kids kind of run off and have their own little fight scene. But to my knowledge, all that choreography was them. I don't remember any cutaways of adults doing it.
Yeah. And there's just good little tidbits I got to bring up throughout the whole thing, like in the beginning where they try to fight Grandpa to prove their training is over. You know, Tum Tum jumps in front of the car and he stops. It's like, oh, we almost got you, Grandpa. It's like 2 lessons you must learn from this fight. Never pick a fight unless you're gonna win. And like, what's the second one? And he's up in the tree. He's like, never climb a tree with thorns. Oh, I was like, I always loved that.
Yeah, I love the actor. I see him. He's like all over the place. It's always a joy to see him. He just reminds me of Big Trouble in Little China as the tour bus driver.
Yeah, it reminds me of it's not the same guy, but he reminds me of like Happy Days guy. Was that Pat Morita, the Karate Kid? It's like a fat version of him.
I don't think I've seen Happy Days.
Well, the teacher from Karate Kid.
Oh, okay, yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, they get their new ninja names. I love how they just pound the ninja names into the movie within 15 minutes of getting the ninja names. It's like Colt. They just refer to each other by them. They tell every character they meet about them.
Yeah.
And then, like when Emily is introduced, the first time you see her, she's like, "Hey, did I hear you say your name is Rocky now?" It's like you got to bring it up again. Yeah, that's the name my grandpa gave me. It's kind of a ninja name. I love that scene where he's talking to her, and then it's got Tum Tum in the background, like over his bag in the car.
Oh,
and he's just looking at him as they talk. And then Rocky's like, nothing said, and Rocky's like, okay, I gotta go bye. And Tum Tum's like, yeah, bye.
Dude, I used to chant "Rocky loves Emily" so much when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, who did?
Rocky
Yeah.
loves Emily.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's standout line from this movie. My little nephew, this used to be streaming on something because I remember setting him up to watch. I think it was on, I don't think it's on anything right now, right? I just watched it on YouTube. Did you find it streaming?
I just rented it. I canceled my Disney, so maybe it's a Disney movie, so it may be on there. I didn't look though.
No, I think this is before like Disney Plus. This was like a couple years ago
Hmm.
when we were doing this. I think it was on Netflix for a bit.
Hmm.
And so, anyways, and then one of the first thing he said to me after getting him to watch, he said, "Rocky loves Emily." I was like, yeah, buddy. You know what?
It's catchy.
Like, that just sticks in a kid.
Mhm.
But yeah, and then the name stuff was pretty funny. All the training stuff is funny. Like Tum Tum, they're all, they touch their face and they gotta wake up and do it like a move. And Tum Tum just can't get it by touching his face, so they touch his jelly bean bag and then whoosh, snaps his hand and stomps him. I just, Tum Tum's fun character, and I love like later when they're finally home, like, and they're saying goodnight. Oh, good night, Colt. Good night, Rocky. Good night, Tum Tum. And then Tum Tum, you hear a rustling, like a bag. He's like, "Hey guys, I got a new stash of jelly beans. You want some?"
No.
Like, go to bed. And then it's quiet for like 2 seconds, and you're choked on a jelly bean.
That was pretty good.
I love him. And then that one time when Rocky, Colt's explaining the names to his dad, and he's like, "I'm Colt because I'm fast. He's Rocky because he's solid, and he's Tum Tum because he'll eat anything." And then it pans to Tum Tum. "I won't eat dog poop."
I wish he said
This is
shit.
one of my-
I want to eat
Yeah.
shit. That would have been awesome.
"I won't eat dog shit." I always used to say, like, me and my buddies, I don't know, we'd always be like, "I won't eat dog poop unless it's got sprinkles. I'm not an animal." And there's just a lot of fun stuff in this movie that, it just a reminder of the times, like when they're driving home and they're singing in the car. That song, I think we all sang. It's like,
Oh
what was
yeah.
it? On top of Old Smoky, all covered with blood. I
Yeah.
shot my poor teacher with a 44 snub. And it's like, dude, we sang that on the schoolyard. It's like, you better watch your ass, teacher. And it's song about killing your teacher that all the school children would chant.
Yeah, it's funny
Yeah,
you bring
that's
up the 90s. I always find it interesting to go back and watch old movies and see, because society always progresses and becomes more politically correct, and you go back and watch old things, you're like, ooh. So I always find it interesting to be like, huh. But Three Ninjas was kind of funny because, like, in the first scene, the weapons deal, there's a guy who comes out with a Saudi headdress.
Yeah.
A gutra, or I think it's what it's called. And it's like, oh, classic, hire white guy, whatever. Also, he's a badge. I'm like, oh, he's a cop. All right, you got me. My bad. I didn't mean to judge you so quick. You got that covered. And then, like, later on, the surfer guys are looking at a surfer magazine with like a hot chick in the front, and they're like looking at the spread. Oh,
Yeah.
look how beautiful she is. I'm like, oh, great. Treating women as an object. All right, three. And then it cuts to it's just a surfboard. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I like that.
About you.
He's like, "I would love to get gnarly on some lonely misbegotten beach with this babe." And then it shows the surfboard.
So yeah, I was trying to catch this movie and some PC stuff, and finally, like, when Rocky's talking to Emily over his thing, his can, they're doing the Rocky loves Emily, and Emily's like, "What's going on?" And then Rocky turns around, or like looks at his can and goes, "Oh, my brother's just being retarded." I'm like, you slipped. You fucking slipped. You can't say retarded anymore. I just thought it was funny because I thought I was gonna keep catching them in a PC.
Yeah, it's pretty good on their part as far as that goes. The worst part might be talking about murdering your teacher. That might be the worst thing. It's that little song.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah. So those scenes, I remember that scene always stuck out to me. Well, for how cool the room is, man.
Yeah.
Like when you watch this as a kid, it's like, what the fuck? You got a light that blinks when your mom and dad are about to come in your room and shit. He's got a Nintendo. He's playing Mario 3. He's got badass bunk beds. He's got a trampoline with only big enough to jump with 2 feet. It's like the room is sick. Even the robbers, when they first go in the room, there's like 3, 2, and they get bust in the room and no one's in there. Like, oh, cool room. And they just
start snooping around.
They're just taken aback by it. There's like a ninja drawn on the wall. Yeah, I remember yeah, there's no cell phones, and like that was always a cool thing. Like if your friend lived like right next door or something, you wanted to both have like a walkie-talkie, to
Mhm.
like communicate or try and. It never worked. I don't know if anyone ever got it to work. The fucking can with a string, it never fucking worked.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't transfer the sound through a fucking string. Okay, maybe the string has to be taut so it's got some vibration. I never
Right,
did it
right.
right. I don't know. But anyways, he's got it all set up, and it's set up like this. It's got the can on one of these like adjustable mic
Yeah.
stands, so you can like a radio host.
Very ahead of its
It's got
time.
the Campbell soup can and shit, and it's very nice. It's like set up, going to the other house. But yeah, the part I thought was funny was when the kidnappers get on the can, like the main kidnapper. He's like, "Oh, dude, what's going on over there?" You hear Emily's like, "Come over, hurry! It's very important." And then they
Pretty good.
kidnap her, and that's how they're able to finally get him. Yeah, well, that stuff's real fun. There's so much in the kidnapping part to go
Yeah,
through.
there's fuck. Where do you even begin? There's like,
Like
man.
all the booby traps are pretty awesome. I remember they're filling the like coffee filters with like cayenne pepper and shit and throw it in their eyes. And then these guys have guns and they never use them. They never even point them, except that like near the end when they're getting their asses beat, they're like, "Oh, this ought to scare them." And they remember like they have guns. And the X-Lax part, I remember that, loving that.
Oh yeah.
Remember when you couldn't poop for 3 days? This is the stuff that makes you go. And just the things they do, like to entice the kidnappers, like, "Oh, we got to get them to drink this. How you get them to drink it?" And they just have Tum Tum sitting there. This is good.
Give me that.
Give me that, punk. I want something good. It's like so it's ridiculous motivations in the movie. I love it.
I also love how kind of violent it gets. Like Rocky straight up strangles the other guy to the banister.
Yeah.
Almost like chokes him to death. I'm like, Jesus.
And I love how like he that guy calls for help. "Yeah, dudes, bail me out." And he's choking. And it's like, dude, stand up.
Yeah.
It's like he's laying down, so the thing is fucking choking him. It's like, and all they do is kind of pull him up.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not tied down. Just stand up, buddy. You're okay.
Oh man, yeah, that whole scene is fantastic. There's
I
the
remember-
other scene that I forgot about. That's I don't think it's as good as the kidnapping scene, but I was like, oh man, this scene's great. Is the fucking basketball scene?
Oh
God,
yeah.
good.
You got to have
Good
a
stuff.
basketball like montage / scene. Yeah, that one's ridiculous. And like dunks like Jordan, and he's like stepping through the air.
Yeah, so good.
We'll spot you 9 games to 10. Yeah, those bullies are pretty funny too. The little chubby black kid and then his white friend. Yeah, they're pretty funny. That kid, that child actor, they're both pretty terrible. Those guys,
Yeah, they're
delivering
pretty bad.
lines like everything, but it works for the cheesy like bully.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like it was supposed to be delivered bad or something. But yeah, because when he before that basketball game, it's like, "Yeah, Colt, little horsey, want some hay?" And then he's like, "Laugh," and then all his friends laugh.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
One thing I remember in the kidnapping scene when me and my buddies used to watch it, and I'm talking about we'd rewatch it in like middle school and high school and constantly. We just thought it was so funny. Was the Asian kidnapper, and he's on the stairs and they're getting CDs thrown at him and they're kind of like falling down the stairs. We rewatched that scene so many times because it's just a white dude in an Asian guy mask. He's like got a mask on that makes him like yellower.
Wow.
And it's got a wig on it. And then we'd always like pause and like rewind, like, "Look at the Asian guy mask." It's like, dude, this is the most ridiculous shit. But yeah, it's an Asian guy mask, and it's super funny.
I didn't realize that. Well, it's funny. I did realize, or catch rather, when Tum Tum puts the jelly beans down and they all kind of trip. The Asian guy, or the guy who plays the Asian guy, apparently like does an obnoxious like jump to the corner of the banister by the stairs, and it was just like, these stuntmen are just trying to make it as believable as possible because it looked pretty ridiculous.
No, what I'm saying is that the Asian guy is an Asian guy, but during that stunt, it's a stunt man in an Asian guy mask to play the Asian guy. Like you couldn't
Right.
just get an Asian stuntman or someone that looks similar to him. It was like very obviously a mask that's like yellow face. It's like darker complexion than the guy. I don't know how to describe it, but it's an Asian mask. Makes you look Asian, and the stuntman's wearing it. It's super funny.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know. Anything else you got? If you want to bring up.
I don't think so. I think we kind of covered all of it. I mean, yeah, I mean, fucking those kidnappers, man, are the best part of that movie. It's can't be understated. Like if they weren't in the movie, I don't know if it's even worth watching.
Yeah,
but they make it worth watching.
Yeah,
so many
I like
lines.
Snyder too. Snyder's not in it much, but Snyder's a pretty cool character.
Yeah,
he's a pretty cool bad guy. That should have been played by like Steven Seagal, the Snyder character, like Seagal when he was skinny. That's what I picture. He could have been that guy.
Looks like they're trying to do a Steven Seagal thing. Oh, I also love that the ninjas are all wearing goggles. That was great.
Yeah.
Bubbles in their eye. Safety first.
Yeah, you want something in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, man. I think it still holds up. It's still fun as an adult, or even if you got kids or want to introduce kids in your life to something enjoyable from your childhood that's kind of, appropriate. A lot of the things from our childhood has gotten a little inappropriate, to show to kids nowadays. I don't have kids, but I got nieces and nephews. And when I try to show them things from my childhood, some of their parents would go, watch. I was like, you guys watched it. What's wrong? It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not my kids. It's not my choice. So this is something that is pretty acceptable. I mean, some parents and stuff don't like the ninja fighting at all. They don't want the violence, but
sure,
if you're okay with the play fighting, little boys and stuff, even little girls, they love the play fighting and all that. So overall, it's pretty acceptable, which is hard to find from this era. Things kind of borderline, like a PG-13 was almost an R now.
Yeah.
Back then. And so I think this was PG back then. So this is more like a PG-13 now because of all the fighting and stuff. I'm pretty sure it was a PG then, though.
Yeah, apparently this had a higher rating or more violence, and the filmmakers had to add more like sound effects and more like happier tones when they fight, or happier music, like the whimsical kind of stuff.
Yeah, that theme, that dude, that just reminded me. This is like Zelda. Like I feel like that's a Zelda tune. I feel like this came out before 64 Zelda. I feel like you guys just robbed that, didn't you? You just turned that into the frickin' whatever theme in Zelda. Yeah, so it's fun, still funny. I hadn't watched it in a while, so I was worried. I was like, I don't know, am I really gonna? But yeah, I still enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I mentioned that it's like Home Alone and Turtles is because I remember specifically on the VHS, it says like in the little quote on the front, Home Alone meets Ninja Turtles. And I was like, yeah, who wouldn't want that? Yeah, they let you know what you're in for right on the VHS box. But yeah, MVP goes to the burglars.
Oh yeah. Duh. That was for sure. 100%. I was kind of thinking like, huh? Like, oh yeah.
And if you had to pick someone other than that, I can't pick. No one really stands out that much.
Mm-hmm.
Tum Tum, maybe he's got some funny lines with his, but yeah, the kidnappers are where it's at. Though.
It's interesting looking at this director. I knew his name sounded familiar. So he went on to go do Cool Runnings, which is another kind of a cult kids classic. Phenomenon, which I never saw. I just remember it's the John Travolta where he has his hand out on the VHS. I never saw it, but
Phenomenon.
Yeah.
Because that's not the one where he's an angel, is it? No, that's Michael.
That's Michael. I don't know what Phenomenon is.
Yeah, me either.
And then he went on to do the Bruce Willis movie, The Kid, and then arguably his biggest movie thus far is National Treasure.
National Treasure
with Nicolas Cage, that Disney movie.
Oh my God, he did that one.
Yeah. And then
Declaration of Independence.
And then his last movie he did was The Meg, which was that shark movie that came out a couple years ago.
Oh, Jesse likes that one.
Yeah.
She's just into any shark movie.
So he went from Three Ninjas to The Meg. That's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, at least he kept working.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been around for a while.
A lot of these like children's 90s movies, some of these directors don't either they go into like TV or something, but they don't really last very long. I know these actors don't last very long. We kind of looked them up as we're watching the movie and they don't really do much after this movie.
Yeah. I saw Colt doing like an interview with somebody, obviously as an adult, and I thought it was kind of cool to see him. And they talked about it, and I guess it must be crazy to be in a movie like this, you know. It's just such a big movie, and people remember. And
yeah,
it was just a very interesting interview. I'd like to see it. It's like when I watch these things, I want to see like a reunion. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, damn, I'd love to see those three kids now sit down and talk about the film and stuff and the experience, and maybe have some of the other actors if they're still around. It's like that's always what I want. After I finish one of these older movies, like Rookie of the Year, I'm like, man, I want to see Daniel Stern now sit down with the kid and Gary Busey and talk about this movie and try to get Gary Busey to say something intelligent.
I think he's gone, man. He's lost.
Yeah, I love the movie.
His hair's all fucking crazy.
Movie. I would give this movie, in the lens of 90s, you know, back then I probably would have gave it a 9 as a kid. Like, this was one of the top movies that I loved just going back to. But, you know, being fair now as an adult, or what I think it truly is, I do think it's good. But I got to be more fair and give it a 7.5. I think it's good. 7.5, very good.
Yeah, I'd go 7. That's where my mind went. It's good to kind of jump back into it. I mean, it's not, it's a kid's movie. So, I mean, there's still some stuff that works for adults. Again, the Surfer Bros are pretty fun. The action's a little bland in terms of like the action that we get nowadays in modern action movies. So, but yeah, it's a fun little movie, and I think it's a solid 7.
For sure. Definitely worth another watch. So go check it out, and then check out freaking Hulk Hogan Monster at High Noon, or whatever that piece of garbage is. I'll have to check that out. Maybe it's funny. I'm certain it's so bad it's good. You know what we need to do one of these days? We do that movie Suburban Commando with Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I remember that.
I've never really seen it. I just seen the trailer 1,000 times at the beginning of the Ninja Turtles tape.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's sent through time. Suburban Commando.
I think I watched that movie because I saw that trailer so many fucking times. I went to Sunburst. I'm like, I need to get it.
Yeah, and it had like Doc Brown. It was like the dad and stuff. Yeah. I'd like to watch that one. I've never seen it. Jessie liked it. She's like, you never seen that? I was like, no, I've just seen the trailer 1,000 times. And that and the Pizza Hut commercials at the beginning of Ninja Turtles with that. And the ball fell into my glove.
Oh man, you remember, speaking of nostalgia, the Turtles, on the cartoon Turtles VHSs, all those Burger King commercials. Remember all those? The Burger King kid was all sci-fi.
The Burger King kids, yeah. One is in a wheelchair, one is black, one's a nerd, and one's a girl. They just had all. They were PC back then, dude. Burger King. They didn't have to do that in the 90s. It could have been all 30-year-old men selling you that kids meal.
Selling the Whoppers.
They were cool, but then they went a little un-PC. Like the wheelchair kid was, I'm Wheels. Oh, okay. I'm the black girl. Oh yeah, I do think the black guy was like, I'm Jamal. It's like, oh guys.
Oh man.
Be a little more creative. But yeah, I remember those. I was like, I remember, I loved it, dude. They had like the Burger King Kids Club back then. You get like a card and shit. I remember someone in one of my 90s Facebook groups had their card still, and they like took a picture of it and they blacked out their name and address and stuff. And I remember commenting like, why are you hiding that stuff? like you're on your 1992 Burger King Kids Club card. You don't want us to go to your childhood home or what? He's like, whoa.
God damn it. Oh man.
Yeah, I do.
Those are the days.
Those are awesome. Burger King kids meals were good. I liked them better than McDonald's. If I remember correctly, you got a little more food. McDonald's kids meal were fun. You get the toy, but you're always a little bit hungry. You know, that stupid fry bag is fucking like 7 fries in it.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
2 nuggets.
Yeah. Who was the first one that came out? I think it was McDonald's or Burger King that came with the big kids meal. It's like still a kids meal, but you got more food. Instead of like a 4-piece, it's like a 6-piece.
I don't remember.
And then like instead of like a little baby toy, you got something cooler. Anyways, those were cool. But yeah, the Burger King episode is a different episode. Oh, you do the Burger King game, Sneak King.
God damn it.
The trilogy of games. Anyways, 7, 7.5, 3 Ninjas, excellent. Still holds up. I mean, it's not Shakespeare here, but it's pretty good. It's no Ninja Turtles 3 that we were gonna do.
Yeah.
I don't know how it compares to Surf Ninjas. I'll have to check that out and see what I think. I'm worried that I'll be a little harsher on Surf Ninjas because I wasn't one of my childhood ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think out of the 2, I watched 3 Ninjas more. But I do remember watching Surf Ninjas quite a bit. I just remember us laughing a lot as a family with all of Rob Schneider's lines. I'm sure they're not funny at all today, but back then we all just had a blast, kind of just laughing in the family room watching.
I picture Rob Schneider being like his Samoan character from 50 First Dates.
Dates, yeah.
I was like, "What up, brother?" Hello, brother. Jesus.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, you got to take her out, brother. I'll pretend to kidnap her and hit her on the head, and then you save her, brother. Yep. So, anyways, yeah, check it out. I enjoyed it. Another fun one. I don't know what we got coming out. I don't think there's anything immediately. The Angelina Jolie movie does look interesting after watching the trailer. I might have to check that out.
Yeah, I 100% literally know nothing about it. I think I'm just gonna pop it on and
Jump into
I don't
it?
know if it's a thriller. I have no idea what genre it is, but fuck it. I'm just gonna jump into it.
The trailer looked pretty cool. I do suggest that one I told you about that I watched on Netflix.
Oh, that Mars one?
Yeah, what the fuck? What's it called? What's it called when you stow away on a ship? That's what it's called. Anyways.
We'll
Yeah,
look
I
into
don't
it.
remember what it's called. But yeah, that one's cool.
The show or movie?
It's a movie. It's a Netflix original movie. It's got like Anna Kendrick. It's one of the main characters.
Mm.
Yeah, it was good. I really liked it. It was kind of a Apollo 13 space. We have troubles in space. Everything's worse in space. You know, one of those kind of movies. We got to do something, or we're not gonna make it. The ship's gonna fuck up. Stuff like that. But it was a good thriller. The way they did it, it was very interesting. I liked it.
Word.
And other people seem to like it too. So yeah, till next time, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Thanks for watching, as always. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking the videos. Please continue to come on down, and please subscribe if you would. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. You know, put it on for your dog in the background. They love it. So it's a good babysitter too. We do curse a lot, so if you're okay with that. Anyways, yeah, thank you. Really enjoy our time with you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Bryan, and y'all have a good day. Peace.
Yeah, peace.